I've done a car wrap campaign before. Let me build the picture for you. So you have a side hustle, you're working on these different gig apps, and it doesn't matter if it's rideshare, parcel, food delivery, any gig app that uses your vehicle. What if I told you you could tack on an extra $100 a month, 200, 300 plus possibly by wrapping your vehicle with an advertisement? Today, I'm talking to a fellow gig worker, another Mike in a different marketplace, to get his perspective on these car wrapping campaigns in our contributor program here today. We need to answer the question, is it worth it? I mean, the install and the removal seem pretty easy. The pay, is it good as a filler app to fill in your shift here? So with that, let me bring on Mike here. Mike, welcome to the channel. I know we've dealt with some technical issues, so we're going to have your picture up right now, but introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us a little bit about how long you've been doing this gig work, in what marketplace, and then ultimately, how did you get into the car wrap campaigns, and tell us a little bit about what you're currently doing with that.
Yes, I'm Mike. I work in the Boston market. I was one of the original drivers with rideshare, actually with Uber. I had the dash cam set up. I was leasing a Navigator from a guy, and we had all the cameras, and we were one of the first drivers up here from day one. But no longer do rideshare. I'm pretty much just doing food delivery and catering and working in that. But I started doing the car wrap campaigns. I'm on my third one, actually. I researched them, Rapify, Carvertise, and I'm currently doing Firefly. They all were pretty competitive with each other, a couple $100 a month. But I did a full wrap with Carvertise, which was good. The initial install was $800 or $1,000. I forget what it was. And then it's $100 a month, which is low, but extra money. You're going to be out there anyway. And I did the first one. I did a year campaign. I ran into some issues with the drunks getting confused with where they totally changed I have a silver car, but it was red, and you're in that gray area with Uber and Lyft, where you can't change it on your registration. And so the second campaign, I did a partial wrap, because at least it showed the silver and the people weren't as confused. Those two were done. And then I did a year with each. And this time I'm trying Firefly. And that is, the initial install was only $100, but they give you 2 months up front. You're getting $300 a month with Firefly for the digital top. It's a little bit more money monthly, but the initial install wasn't as much.
So you've done basically all three. Now, we talked about mobile ads. You haven't done mobile ads. And here's the thing, folks. This is why hopefully you're subscribed or watching this channel, so we can talk to fellow gig workers, drivers, workers, couriers like Mike here, Boston market, early adopter to Uber and Lyft, had the issue, like you mentioned, like, hey, passengers looking for a silver car. And we'll actually put some pictures up right now. Now my silver car is red and it's confusing passengers. Talked about the install. We'll get into the money here a little bit, Mike. So the most recent campaign, let's say, I think you said currently, I know you're doing Firefly. And I believe you mentioned, correct me if I'm wrong, we're about at, was it $300 a month for Firefly?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So Firefly, folks, if you don't know, it's the car wrap, and then you also get an illuminated car topper. Is that right, Mike?
That's correct. And they did do tablets also, but they I guess it's not profitable, so they stopped the tablets.
Do you like, I mean, I know obviously it's kind of based on the pay. What are the pros and cons of having that car topper plus the wrap? So I guess what I'm saying is Firefly versus Rapify. It seems like Firefly pays more. Is there anything else to it, or is it basically just like who pays more?
Who pays more, but this really isn't for everybody. But with the digital top, I like it because I work nights. I'm out there at midnight a lot, whatever, till 2 o'clock on Fridays, Saturdays. So it looks like a cab.
Now, if I'm just getting into gig work and I'm doing, let's say, food delivery, even food delivery. So you said you're not doing so much rideshare now. Are you doing more just food delivery or what?
No ride share, period.
But if I'm just getting into, let's say, delivery, I know DoorDash is popular. There's Uber Eats, Grubhub just got sold. Maybe we'll see some new things with them. Do you think car wrapping is a good filler app? Because I don't have to do anything. They pay for the install and the removal. Is it worth it in that sense, just to tack on some extra income?
Absolutely. To me, $300 a month, half my car payment. Yeah, I have a year left to pay my car. This is probably my last campaign that I'm going to do. I know what they're going to do where you have the car top. You're automatic. I don't know if you know how these companies work, but they go city to city with their campaigns. These guys were only here for 2 days. They were mostly, I was one of two. There was a rideshare guy getting his car wrapped and me, and it was all cabs. They were doing cabs, Boston cabs. So they just go city to city signing up people. So when my yearly contract is up, they already have the digital sign on there. If their Salesforce works correctly, I'll get a campaign right away again if I want it. They track you on your phone. When you originally sign on with them, they say they don't have a campaign available. You're allowing access, so they see how many hours you're working, how many miles you're driving, and then eventually you get a campaign offer.
Like you mentioned, that's exactly what I saw with Carvertise. So folks, you sign up for an app, like Mike said, they may not have a campaign per se, but what they're doing is tracking your location data, seeing how often you drive, where you drive, and seeing if it's worth it for them to put an advertisement in front of faces out in your marketplace based on where you drive. If you drive in the suburbs, if you drive not that often, am I saying you might not get an offer? Possibly. Possibly. It comes down to impressions here. But like Mike said, he feels like it's a good filler app if you're doing this stuff anyway. But Mike, what did you not like about the campaign? Install, removal, having the thing on your vehicle. You mentioned confusion with rideshare. Just going out maybe to get groceries and you have this advertisement. Is there anything that you didn't like, the pay, about these wrap campaigns?
I felt that the Carvertise pay was awfully low, $100 a month. But like I said, the initial install was worth it. Like the other day, I was in the mall parking lot. Security came up to me. You can't have advertisement in here. Can you turn it off? I'll let you get by this time. I kind of laughed at him. I'm like, what about all the other trucks and cabs with lettering on it? Carvertise quality wrap. The red one I sent you the picture was incredible. They used 3M. The one I got now is 2 weeks old. I see it bubbling. It's pulling off the car, and it's 2 weeks old. So whatever materials they used aren't the best on it, but
which is the recent one?
Firefly.
Okay, so that's the one that's pulling up.
My tailgate, I noticed yesterday, it's like real brittle, and it's not even cold up here. Like you can understand in the winter it being brittle, but I'm not impressed with the materials they used on the second one.
Interesting. Well, that's great feedback.
But that red one their materials were incredible.
Type down below, what do you think about car wrap campaigns right now? And if you would like to apply for our contributor program and just earn for your gig experience, fill out the form down below. I like the topper, understandable about the wrap here, but Mike said this is the one that would pay more. It makes sense. You don't just have the wrap, you have the topper as well. So he's getting $300 versus he cited $100 on Carvertise. That's also what I was offered here in Pittsburgh. I was offered a $100 per month campaign, potential for bonus pay, but they wanted to lock me into 12 months. There's a question for you, Mike. So is Firefly and Rapify all different durations versus Carvertise? Were they all 12 months, 6 months? Tell me about that contract duration.
It varies. You can get a 6 month, you can get a 12 month. I believe they even have 3 months. Uh, I did with Carvertise, I did two 12 months back to back, and then the attorney didn't renew the contracts with them. So I dropped it. They dropped it after 2 years. With Carvertise also, they when the Celtics were in the playoffs, not last year, but the year before, like game 1 and 2 against the Lakers, they paid like $200 to go sit in front of the TD Garden, which
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
right.
didn't really feel like doing. I didn't feel
Yeah.
like getting stuck in the mess. I didn't do it, but and I forget, it was $100 or $200 to sit there for an hour or two and before game time.
That's the swarm bonuses that they call it, I think.
Is that what I forget what they called it.
Yeah, on Rapify, I think they call it like a swarm, getting a group of these cars together, or, whatever they call it now, Surge, different,
Yeah.
platforms might call it something else. Okay, so anything else that you didn't like, and I guess the pros and cons, like you said, and try to remind me here, would you do it again? Like after this Firefly, are you done with the car wraps or would you keep doing it?
I mean, my car's paid off pretty much right when this contract is up. I don't know. And I'm not sure if I'm going to stay in the gig economy. So it depends. I mean,
Sure.
I would do it again.
I guess overall verdicts. If someone has done campaigns or they're looking at get into these campaigns, what is your overall verdict? Are you for it? Are you against it? And if you could actually rank these, so rank 1, 2, 3, the Carvertise, Rapify, and Firefly, because you've uniquely done all three. Let me get your thoughts on that.
I mean, I would really just kind of rank them all in the middle. I mean, the money isn't the greatest, but how much are you going to get paid to put an advertisement on your car?
If you had to pick though, let me hear, like, in your experience with think about the install, think about, you mentioned the quality of material, think about the pay per month. If you had to put them in order, what do you think?
Firefly, definitely. That
Yeah,
so far, but I'm only on the second week on it, so
right, sure.
we'll see. You know, that definitely Firefly. I just think the money's better. And I like the guys in the shop when I went there. They were from New York. I'm from New York, and they were good guys.
And which one was really brittle? Was it Carvertise?
Yeah. No. Firefly.
Oh,
The
that's
one
right. So
I now.
their wrap wasn't great, but their pay was higher, and then the topper was nice. But so they just need to work on their wrap materials, it sounds like.
Exactly. Exactly.
Gotcha. And you said you weren't even driving. I mean, you're driving now. It's not. We're out of winter now.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
When did you drive the Rapify and Carvertise? Like, what time of season was that?
I think I got it put it on in September or August.
Okay.
So I actually didn't do Rapify, just two campaigns with Carver.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay. Appreciate the clarification there. I guess we're for Firefly, and folks, I'll leave some links in the description here. You can look into these programs because I don't even know. A, you're not going to get as many offers as any other gig app because they only have a limited number of campaigns. I think Carvertise told me once they were doing, I think, like 70 campaigns in Pittsburgh at the time. Think how many, gig drivers you might have. You're going to have thousands of drivers, especially, Mike, you're currently in Boston, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. I mean, think about how many thousands, 10,000 plus gig workers there's going to be in a major city like that. If these apps, because they're paying for the wrap, they're paying for the install and whatnot. But as a filler app, though, see, I wouldn't do it on the $100 a month for Carvertise. Rapify paid me a touch more, but the Firefly seems kind of attractive. So I guess any last words for our audience here about car wrap campaigns, Mike? Anything else we need to know?
Mike, I don't really do Boston much anymore, but the
Okay.
amount of cars that were wrapped with the car, incredible. I mean, they had I because as you buy a car, obviously you see the cars that same as yours. I seen the wraps all over the place, all over Boston. When I was doing rideshare, I was like, "Holy crap!" No, a lot of guys do it.
Well, that's great, Mike. Hey, I appreciate you being here. One more time, any final insights or takeaways for our audience today?
Now, the other thing I was going to do, I don't do it anymore, but they switched ownership. I was driving for a drug and alcohol rehab. They were going to put their own wrap on it, pay the expenses. I was going to cut a deal with them and get cut out the middleman. I mean, they love the wrap. I found somebody to wrap it. If you can find somebody like that, I was even thinking about putting one advertisement on the hood, a different one on each door, and sell yourself to people, companies that way, and really make
Yeah.
them.
I love that because then you're you're maybe even more of an independent contractor, than working on these gig companies because you have control over negotiables, pricing. You can advertise with different companies. And Mike, I don't know if you watched our sticker series, folks, where you get paid to put a sticker on your car. And their one of the angles was you can have multiple stickers from different companies. And it's just a sticker, it's not a whole wrap, but it was completely awful, but probably the worst gig app side hustle I've ever done. So check out our series on sticker and you can see our rankings guide for free at yourdriveformike.com/bundle. So Mike, hey, I appreciate you being here. This is wonderful. I know we had some tech issues, but as a filler app, the Firefly, we got some great insights today on that and the pay here. I want to thank you again for being here on the channel, being a part of our contributor program, one of the early adopters, if you will, of that contributor program, and just spending some time with us today.
Thank you, Mike. It was a pleasure.